What's up guys, got a really awesome video for you today. In this video we're going to be tackling a nasty scratch on this BMW front bumper. As you can see, it's really deep, it's really wide, it definitely needs painting, but we're not going to paint it today. We're going to do something that's going to save you money, save you time, save you hassle, and you're going to love it. So we're going to firstly get some black solvent base coat and we're going to carefully smear it into the groove of the scratch. Quite a deep scratch, so I've probably put a little bit more on in this video than what I recommend you guys doing. Also, the other great value with this video, and we're combining different methods into one, we're also going to get a microfiber cloth and we're going to rub some of that solvent black paint all into the chips, the bumper chips. It was absolutely peppered on this BMW. I think it was a good 10, maybe 12-year-old car, so it's 10 to 12 years of obviously getting hammered on the front end. So we're literally just getting some of that paint on that cloth and we're really rubbing it in. We're rubbing it deep into those chips. We want to try and work it in until the paint won't work anymore and it dries. All over the front. We're just going to smear it in, guys. So after we've gone and made a cup of tea or a coffee, we're now going to move on to the next step. As you can see, I'm just preparing some sandpaper. We've got some 1500 and 2000 sandpaper, and what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be, well, firstly we're going to protect the edges. So obviously be careful we don't cause any further damage to the car we're working on. Just a bit of a precaution. So we've got some of that sandpaper. I've put it in a soapy bucket full of water and we're just going to start flattening off that excess paint that we've rubbed all over the bumper corner. Plenty of water. Preferably use some kind of block. We're just going to be sanding down that excess. Now the sandpaper will unfortunately be quite clogged up because the paint tends to sometimes stick on the sandpaper, so it might need several pieces depending on the area you're working on. I think I used a couple of pieces of 1500 on this one. So I've just speeded up the video for us because we get the idea. I'm sanding down the excess paint. It's important to keep checking your work, so we're just going to wipe off all the moisture and the water and just have a quick look, see how we're getting on. You'll probably at this point think, yeah, there's still certain areas that need a bit more taking down, so we've just moved on to the 2000 paper now and we're just going to do exactly the same as last time, keeping it wet, keeping the sandpaper moving. I'm just going to speed things up a little bit. I don't want to take too much of your guys' time up, so I'm going to be getting through these videos fairly quick. It's not often I go over 10 minutes, so loads of interesting stuff packed into a small video really. Please hit the like button, notification button, please subscribe. So next stage, I just wasn't quite happy with that scratch because, as I said before, it was quite deep, so we're just going to rub a little bit more paint into that bit, as you can see. Just getting that paint all inside the gap. I noticed a couple of really deep chips as well, so I just put a little bit more on there, not too much. We don't want to go overboard. So the next stage is to get some cutting compound. Paint Gear Products sell this exact compound for Eckler G360, but they sell it in a DIY 100 gram form. So if you want to go over to the website and go and check that out. Just a little plug for Paint Gear Products. They supply you the paint, they can supply you the consumables and accessories. Go and check them out, they do all sorts of kits. I definitely recommend them. So what we're doing now, we've just got a rotary polisher. I don't recommend doing this kind of method with an orbital DA. It needs to be something that spins, so as you can see, I'm using the rotary polisher. I'm also using an old cutting pad. When you're doing this method, I always say you need to be using more compound and rubbing paste than you normally would, because the cutting action is most effective when you first apply the polish. As it starts to break down, the oil starts to obviously be more prominent, so it becomes a little bit transparent, so you don't get that cutting action. So don't be shy with the cutting compound or whatever cutting polish you're using. You need to be using plenty of that with this method. So I did a quick inspection and there was a few little bits still remaining on that corner, so I just hit it a little bit more. Obviously there is a limit to how many times we can keep buffing it, and don't forget we've sanded it as well, so just be a bit cautious that we're obviously not going to buff through the paint. As you can see, that's looking pretty good. I'm just wiping off all the excess. There's a little bit more down at the bottom, and obviously we've not even touched the bit on the front of the bumper yet, so take your time, there's no rush. The more time you take on these kind of things, the better they're going to look. So yeah, there's no rush process. There's no process here that needs rushing. Just make sure you get the best results you can. So we want to be careful of them edges as well. We don't want to be buffing through the edges and swage lines. I've intentionally left the buffing action a bit longer on this video because on previous videos, because people's attention spans are so short these days, I've tried to cut the video down, and some people have suggested or accused me that I'm trying to deceive them and the methods don't work and it's not correct before and after. As you can see, this is in real time, so you can see as it progresses throughout the repair. So I've just got a nice clean microfiber cloth now, and I'm just giving that a final inspection on that corner, and I think she's looking pretty good. So I finished polishing the rest of that bumper, and I'm just taking off the protective masking tape, just wiping off any dust and residue and that what might have accumulated. As you can see though, it's looking pretty awesome, but we're going to take it outside. I'm going to do a before and after. So there's the after shots from the inside of the unit, but let's go and take it outside and we'll go and have a look. As I mentioned, I'm also going to show you all the chips that were all over the bumper as well, because that's been completely tackled now, and I'm pretty happy with the repair. It's not completely perfect, you can still see a little bit of that scratch, but it was really deep, and to be honest it probably needed painting. So taking it outside, this is the other side of the bumper. I didn't touch this side of the bumper. As you can see, it's completely peppered with stone chips. There's marks on it, there's damage, it looks rough with road rash, and we've made a huge improvement on the other side, which I'm going to show you in a minute. As you can see, the bonnet, we end up doing exactly the same to the bonnet as we did on the bumper corner. There we go, there's the finished shot. So as you can see, compared to the other side of the car, that looks completely different. Not perfect, it's never going to look perfect. If you want it perfect, you need to go and get it resprayed basically. So I'm just trying to save you guys money, just trying to give you some methods, techniques to try and improve your own car. So I just want to say guys, hit subscribe, like the video, comment underneath, and I'll catch you in the next one.